Here with something. We'll take about 5 breaths. So you can practice balancing. You can practice your calf raises, handstand. You can come out of it. I might do that today. I'm feeling particularly lazy today. So wherever you are, about 2 more breaths. Now, bend the left knee and see if you can play with the idea of reaching the right arm around to take hold of the foot. And then we start to work into the heel and the hip touching and the left knee pointing straight up to the ceiling. So some of you out there may like to do funky splits. I'm not teaching it today, but I think you know what it is, where you dip the right arm under instead of outside, and you take that same shape. So instead of arm being here, it comes under. Just play for another breath. And release it all. Extend left leg back. We're going to return to that lunge position. So left knee comes down to the floor. Tippy toe the right foot forward. Hanuman practice. So this will be second Hanuman for this side. Move into the shape. That's right for now. We want to think of drawing the right hip back a little bit and encouraging the left hip forward. So if you find that you're opening to the left side, that's an indication that maybe you need blocks or maybe you need bent leg. One way I like to adjust it, and you can try this too, is to put your hands on blocks or floor to lift up a little bit. Tuck left toes under so the left knee comes up. And in this shape, just pull the right hip back, maybe even exaggerate it a little bit, then mindfully drop back down. Big opening, one more. Okay, we'll all come back to bent left knee. So we're kneeling on the left knee. And we'll return to that half Virasana. So keep your block handy in case you need it. You might want to have your strap handy too. Pulling the toes back. Big inhale to lift here. Exhale, hinge forward over the right leg. Same thing applies that I said before. If this just no matter what doesn't feel good on your left knee, you switch it out. You come into the what I would call the Jani Shirshasana one. But if you're in this half Virasana, half hero pose, stay as you are and keep your breath. We'll make our way back up. And now see about bringing the right leg with you. You can use strap, you can bend the knee. But what we're watching for, much like what I talked about at the very beginning of class, is this rounded spine where I'm rolling onto the sacrum. That's just not doing me any good. So instead, I want the pelvis to hinge forward, and maybe that means bent knee today. Wherever you are, working with breath and that innate knowledge. Now, if this is a pose you normally don't like, did you pay attention to your default habitual thinking? Where did you go? For me, it might be something like maybe even anger here. I don't know. This one, I like this pose, so for me, that's not a good example. Last breath wherever you are. And we'll drop the right leg inside the left leg. Go ahead, let the left hip lift up. That's fine. Taking a twist to the right. Look over right shoulder. Big inhale here. Draw the chin down so you get a nice big stretch. Rolling all the way forward. And we'll take one more breath. Now coming back to neutral, extend your right leg long for seated gate pose. Pulling the right pinky toes back. Inhale, lift here. And on the out breath, left hand can come inside or on top of the right leg. And again, if the left hip lifts a little bit, that's okay. Taking the left arm over the ear as if to reach all the way to the foot and look underneath left armpit. Inhale, pay attention. And then exhale, move accordingly. Right, come on, back up. staying like this. Just swing the leg forward now so we can come out of this Virasana. Hinge off to the right side. Release the leg. Let's go ahead and take straight legs just for half a breath so that we can even out the body. Roll the shoulders up and back. Inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward. We didn't get to do our straight legs in standing. Take peace fingers to the big toes if they reach. Inhale, lift up halfway. And then exhale, hinge forward. We won't stay long. Just wanted to get that nice big stretch, especially on the left side, letting that blood flow back in. So come on back up. Return left leg into Janu Sirsasana. Roll the shoulders up and back. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge. So by now, that right leg must be feeling pretty open. That's a good thing. We'll just take 2 more breaths. And now this next series of stretches will be just 2 breaths per stretch. We'll start with figure 4. Left ankle comes on top of the right knee. Gently encourage left knee away from you. Big inhale, lift up. And then on the out breath, hinge forward. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Come back up, half lotus. If half lotus doesn't work for you, go ahead and drop back to Janu Sirsasana. Trying to get the razor edge of the left foot into that hip line crease right there. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge. And again, 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, being mindful, pay attention, focus and concentration here. 1 more. Lifting back up, we take Gomukhasana legs. Left leg on top, keep the right leg extended. Go ahead, let's pat ourselves again on the back. Left hand, right hand goes where it's safe for you at this moment. Leading with left elbow. Inhale, lift, lift. Pull the belly in as you exhale, hinge, and pay mindful attention to where you're going, because without your hands, it's going to be a little bit of a different pose. Taking 1 more breath, pulling shoulders back. Lift up. We can release the arms, but we'll keep this shape, turning it into half Lord of the Fish pose. So we lift the knee. We have the left ankle coming towards the right knee. Nice big twist to the right. So it's a little opposite of what you might be used to. Looking over right shoulder, inhale, and exhale. And 1 more. All right, we want to keep the twist as we reach our left hand to the outside of the extended leg. And this may be where you want to strap. So unlike other poses that we've done in this shape before, we've been able to bend the extended leg, but obviously we can't do that because the left leg's in the way. So instead, if this is your reach and maybe you don't touch your foot, you just rest where you are and twist to the right, and that'll be your stopping point. If you do have a strap and you want to try continuing on, it might look like this, where you have the strap around the foot. Try to get a little higher on the ball of the foot, and you're twisting. The idea is we'll come back up to facing center for just a second so that you can lift the leg, but we keep the twist. It doesn't go very far. So I'm going to do it without the strap because my arms are long. So I'm lifting up, twisting to the right. From here, I'm going to squeeze my legs together and release the arms, looking over my right hand. Wherever you are, 1 more breath. Let it go. Unfurl the legs, shake them out a little bit. Coming down to Apanasana, wind removing pose, hugging knees into the heart, finding your soft breath in and out. Again, in and out. Let's move into reverse crunches. So reverse crunches are like a bridge pose almost. We put the hands down, palms facing down. We're squeezing the knees in. We rock back just a little bit to lift up and come back down. And up and down. We're doing 10 of them. Up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now on 10, let's hover and hold right there. Find your balance. Pull your belly in, tucking the knees. Drop the hips down. Legs are up, arms are up, alligator chops. Left arm, left leg, come down, and then switch. Right arm, right leg. Up and down. Be mindful in your movements. Try not to wiggle too much in the hip area. And 3, 2, 1. Legs stay up, reaching your fingertips towards your toes. Lift up and touch and down. Up, down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release. Bent knees, hugging heels towards your hips. Nice big bridge flow. Tuck the pelvis, lift the hips up. And then lower back down. Tuck and lift. Lower down. We'll take one more and hold. Tuck and lift. And coming up. If you have your block handy, grab it if you need it for Viparita Karani. That's the legs coming straight up. It means inverted action. So maybe the block would come right under your sacrum and you just lift up. You can choose small, medium, or large. Those of you who know how to do it with your hands, it's much like a shoulder stand, but it's not shoulder stand because we don't take the feet directly over the head. So there's a split in the body. It's not one long line. So find a place where you can lift the chin and then puff the chest up as if it were going to reach towards the chin. And don't drop the chin down. It's the opposite. We lift the chest to come to the chin, and we want to keep the chin lifted so that our neck spine is in a nice, safe place. Now just start your Ujjayi breath in whatever shape you're in. Block, hands. Maybe you put your legs to the wall instead of just floating. And again, I hate to label anything, but just for the purposes of learning concentration in this aspect, find what group you find you fit into in those kleshas. Is it anger? Is it doubt? Is it fatigue? Is it worry? What's number 5? Desire. Desire is number 5. And we want to be aware of that solely for the purpose of recognizing it as the habit it is, and then moving into a place where we can change that habit. We'll take 2 more breaths. All right, if you have your block, you'll mindfully remove the block. You're on your hands. You'll mindfully lower down. Extended legs as we roll up. If you do a regular fish pose, you're welcome to do it, but I'm just going to teach this little variation. You come to seated. Fingertips are looking forward. Puff the chest up. Maybe even shrug the shoulders so that you make a little hammock. And then tilt the head back, opening up the chin, opening up the throat chakra, and expanding the front side of your body. Again, I like to think of this ever expansive love that we're offering. And it comes from our heart center. Make your way back up to neutral spine. Cross your legs. Step or hop it back, flowing straight through, lowering chaturanga. Up dog. Maybe cobra. And downward facing dog. Pedal it all out. Find a sense of evenness in your body. Straight downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Left leg lifts. Stack the hips, bend the knee, lift your head up, look over your right shoulder for your beautiful foot. Whether or not you see it doesn't matter, it's still beautiful. And then decide to stay, or maybe you flip, maybe you side plank, all good. And then come on back, left leg lifts, send it underneath your body, both toes to the right. If everything's good, right arm up, big open expansion. Leave the legs crossed, hand comes back down, cross-legged plank pose. So you may want to narrow your legs if that's for you, coming forward, hanging out here, or trying a chaturanga push-up with crossed legs, or maybe 2 or 3. But pay attention to shoulders. Coming right back up. Left knee to nose forward in plank. Exhale, one-legged dog. Left knee to nose forward, tuck and round here. Exhale, one-legged dog. Last one, forward in plank. Now pull the belly in. There'll be a natural sense of rounding as you hug in. Plant the foot in low lunge position. Make the proper kind of adjustment here that you need for your body. I know I usually have to go a little bit wider. Inhale, lift, open up, maybe flipping palms behind you. Looking up, pulling left hip crease back. A little more of a neutral spine. And we'll take the right hand to the head, invert the left hand, it comes to the sacrum, palm facing out. Shoulders roll up and back. Now expand your elbows. So this is warming up those shoulders. Pulling left hip crease back. Open up. Come back to a neutral place. Release everything as you inhale, lift. And then exhale, prayer twist left. So because we're going to hold here, we can tweak it a little more. Think about pulling the left hip crease back. And notice how the thumbs are probably up by the armpit. If you start to push down, you can pull the left torso back so that the shoulders stack on top of each other. And then thumbs come to heart center. Nice big breath. Come back to neutral as you unfurl. Lift up one more time. And on the next out breath, extend left leg long. As I said, on the other side, we'll have another opportunity for Hanuman, but play here. Just finding something that feels good on this side for another breath or two. All right, preparing for our half hero on this side. So coming down to seated, the right leg is inverted if that's okay for your body. Left leg is long, maybe a block underneath the hips. Making sure you're hugging that right ankle into the hip. Shoulders roll up and back. Inhale here. Wide fingertips coming way out to the side. And think of all of the sadness out there right now. And let's see if we can figure out what we can do to aid in taking away the suffering. So inhale through the nose. It's an open mouth exhale. Inhale, roll it up, heavy head. Let it go, exhale. Take one more, rolling up. Let go of something. Exhale. Take yourself right back up and just as carefully as ever, walk forward to rebend knee. Tuck your right toes under. We just hover a little bit here. We don't come all the way up. Right arm pats, left arm wherever it's safe for you. Up, down, up, down. So think of driving the right knee down. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Release everything. Pivot all the way open to your right. Toes wide if they can be for your yogic squat. But if that's not happening, feel free to pull the toes in. So knees and toes are somewhere aligned. Nice wide fingertips. Coming into 40 Kapalabhati breaths real fast. So full inhale, full exhale, half an inhale, and let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sink down one more time. And then lift up. Pivot both feet forward, hands at the hips. Shoulders roll. Exhale, hinge. Let the head be heavy. On this side, let's take peace fingers to the big toes. See if you can shift slightly forward into your toes. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, elbows out to the side, hinge forward. Let the head drop down so you can shake it yes and no. Just let it all go. Let all of the stuff that's clouding your mind drip out right here. Be gone. So we can do this with mindful concentration. Once we become aware, that's the first step, and then we try to change. In Patanjali Sutra, he talks about Pratipaksha Bhavana, and that is replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. And the same thing applies here. Sylvia Boorstein talks about how she kind of makes fun of herself and laughs at the little worry when it jumps in her brain. Oh, there's that worry thing again. And I do the same thing. And it does help because you're making light of it, still validating it, but making light of it in your awareness and then opting to change it. Last breath. Now let's take hands to the hips for a little acclimating breath. Lift it up. We pivot right back to the front, stepping your right leg out, Virabhadrasana A. So move into your best warrior pose that you can here. Flipping the palms to face the back, open your big heart, look up, and think of expanding not just you, not just your loved ones, but every being out there right now. Open up. All right, come to that patting place. Right hand, left arm comes where it's best for you. Inhale up for straight legs. Open up. Exhale, hinge. So again, no hands to help us here. You have to be super mindful. It's very good for the stabilizers. Helps you to learn balance. Keeping the arms. Come on back up. We rebend left knee. Open up again. And now think standing Gomukhasana. Right leg comes over. I'm using the top of my right foot like this. You don't have to. It can be bent toes. And then pay attention because this right hip droops. So lift it up. Big inhale here. Open up. Pull the belly in. Exhale, hinge. Again, right hip wants to drop. Keep lifting it up. So I purposely didn't do chair pose so we could work these muscles now. All right, last one. As you start to come up, release the arms and think warrior three. Pulling right knee up, extending leg back, finding that parallel place to the floor. Both the leg and the torso. So internal rotation, that right thigh. And now think of floating half moon. We just tilt the left hand down and reach our body wide and expanded. Step it back, right into reverse warrior. So check mentally into the left leg, making sure it didn't collapse inward. Open it up, find a nice big stretch on the left side. One more. And release, coming up straight legs. We'll pivot back to the front. Arms come with us. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge. So just like before, except now we have our arms. If you like a block to rest the pinkies on, go ahead and grab that. Either way, we're trying to send the head through the arms. That'll give us that nice shoulder stretch. Take another big breath. All right, standing splits. Right leg comes up. Play here on this side. We'll move into the bent leg in just a moment. So maybe you're staying, calf raises, handstand, balancing. Just play. Do what's right for you at this moment. I'll take two more. All right, let's work into the bent leg standing splits. The right knee bends, left hand reaches around as if to grab the foot. If it does, awesome. And then point the knee way, way up as you draw the torso closer to your left shin. Now, those of you who practice the the funky splits, which I said I wasn't going to teach today, but I'll just go through it quickly. Normally the hand's on the outside like this. We dip the left hand underneath the left leg, and it's the same shape though. All right, so instead of the hand being outside, it comes inside. Take another breath. Release everything. Leg steps back. We drop down, moving into Hanuman. So this Hanuman will hold, and of course, we'll adjust accordingly, finding the shape that's best for you right now. So I've been nursing a little injury on this side, so I know for me, I can't go to the full effect. So today, I'll just leave my leg lifted a little bit. Pulling left hip crease back, opening up, breathing. All right, let's start to come out of that. We'll tippy toe back up to kneeling on the right side. Left leg is extended. Start to walk yourself back, that half hero's pose. Again, reconnecting, pulling left toes back. Big inhale here, and big exhale to hinge. Hopefully by now that left leg is nice and open so it feels good. All right, how about Kranchasana here? Maybe it's a bent left knee. That's how I'm going to stay today. Or maybe you're straightening. But certainly whatever you're doing, we're paying attention to the lower back, making sure we're not rounded, coming down onto the sacrum. We want to have a nice flat back where we can have a tilt in the pelvis forward. And what that does is draws us onto our sitting bones. Take another breath. And we release. Left leg inside, so it looks like this. We'll take a nice big stretch off to the left side, looking over left shoulder. Don't worry if the right hip comes up, that's okay. Pull the belly in, hinge. Drop the chin down, do a little roll. And come back up. We'll keep this shape, another breath as we extend the left leg long for gate pose. Big inhale to lift. Extend left arm, either on top of the leg, maybe it's inside, maybe on a block. Again, if the hip lifts, that's okay. Right arm comes over. Always moving into a place that you know you can keep and maintain Ujjayi breath. Make your way back up. We'll just swing the leg forward so we can release that hinge. Shake the legs out. Big inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Slide the hands down the top of the legs. Stop where you find that edge. If you're going all the way, hands come over the toes. We pull the toes down for a super stretch on the bottom side of our foot. Inhale for half lift. Exhale, hinge forward. We won't stay super long. I just want to work into evening out the backs of the legs here, especially that right leg all crunched up. And then make your way back up. We'll start with Janu Sirsasana. So this will be 2 breaths each pose. Making sure we maintain integrity on the left side by pulling left pinky toe back towards the corresponding hip, lifting the kneecap. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, hinge forward. In these breaths, pay attention to what's going on in your mind as you inhale and exhale. Working on focus, working on concentration. Making your way back up, figure 4, extending right knee away from you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge. And start now with focus and concentration. Inhale. Exhale. Being aware of everything going on inside. Inhale. and exhale. Making your way back up, we'll take half lotus. Razor edge of the foot goes into the crease if it can. If not, make other arrangements. Maybe you've got a block underneath the knee, or maybe you're taking the Jani Shirshasana. Inhale to lift, exhale, hinge. Inhale, taking notice of the breath. Exhale, ever expanding that awareness. In that same light inhale, take note of how you love your loved ones. And on the out breath, can you expand that love to people you don't even know? Make your way back up. Gomukhasana leg. Again, we go back to patting with the right hand. Left hand goes wherever it wants to. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge. Be mindful. In this place, no arms to guide us. So our base is our right foot, our left foot, and our hips. So in chaos like this, where does your mind go? Try to stay with the focus and the concentration. Come on back up. Half Lord of the Fish pose. Half Lord of the Fish pose, going in the opposite direction. Inhale, lift. So we have knee up. We have foot and knee, or ankle and knee meeting on the left side. Big lift. We're twisting left, so it's opposite of what we normally do. Nice big stretch. All right, again, it's strap or not. Reaching, if you have your hand, you're reaching to the pinky side of the foot as you twist. Lean back to lift up. So what happens with the hand is we clear the knee, which kind of sends the leg a little bit to the right, which is fine. We twist to the left, hugging leg to leg. That's my power to hold on as I release the hands. Take another breath. And let it go. Again, shake it out. All right, let's come right onto the bellies. We'll do a quick back series and then we'll be done with it. So right onto the belly, let's start in Sphinx pose. Since we worked the quads so much, I like to go into frog pose because we just don't get that opportunity that often. So in Sphinx, lift up, push down into your forearms, lift the chest, and always watch for the saggy torso. So when the torso starts to drop down, the ears and the shoulders come too close. We want to have a lot of space between them. Cross the left hand in front. You maybe hinge a little to the left so we can bend the right knee and start to work the right heel towards the hip. Now the frog grip is such that the thumb and the big toe meet, but that's not important today. You may just be holding right here and gently pushing down. That's fine. Make sure to check left shoulder. If you're saggy like this,